As most of you may know, it's been roughly around 2 months now since this whole Supermega situation has gone on, where a quick recap for anyone unfamiliar is that Supermega was a comedy skit YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers, so they were no big deal, definitely not any small channel that could get taken down by any small force. But just recently, a couple months back, Lex Updog, the main accuser in this situation, came out with allegations against her ex-boyfriend, where she alleged that he sexually assaulted her, and Supermega, the main players in this situation, apparently that they covered up her sexual assault. Now, what a lot of people didn't report on the situation, and is why I felt so passionate, I guess, whatever you want to call it, you know, is because the part of the story that never gets told is that all of the players in this situation who came out with their allegations against Supermega, every single one of them is friends with each other and coordinated behind the scenes to conduct this op to try to take down Supermega, because their motivations were that they fell out as friends. They all had poor relationships with Supermega interpersonally, so therefore, because of that, they decided to try to run this cancellation campaign, which sadly actually worked. And if you didn't see the recent advancements in this whole situation, is that Supermega had to make a video saying that they don't even know if they could come back to the channel or not, given this recent situation. And as I pointed out in my main channel video, which I suggest you watch it if you haven't seen it already, it became so obvious after you compile piece of evidence one after another of all of the accusers in this situation embellishing their stories, lying, getting caught in their lies, contradicting themselves in the same video. As we saw with Lex's video, she lies blatantly. Leighton, who came out with his live stream just the day after Lex dropped her video, he lied throughout the whole thing. Almost all of his allegations were blatant lies, with the main one being that apparently Supermega was homophobic against him and told homophobic jokes that he apparently said he wasn't okay with, but they just continued doing it, when text came out showing the exact opposite. And not only did he say he was fine with it and encouraged it, but also took part in the same jokes. Where then next, Nickisnotgreen dropped his 30-minute plus video saying Supermega is full of horrible people. And then one of his best friends, Ethan is online, does a live stream with his girlfriend, where, who's his girlfriend, by the way? Oh yeah, Lex Updog, who was the main accuser who spearheaded this whole situation. And they were celebrating putting up a live sub counter of Supermega's downfall, of them dropping below 1 million subs, because they lost like 60k subs in this whole situation. And they were having a good laugh, they were dancing on stream, celebrating this. This was the most obvious blatant cancellation campaign that sadly worked. And back to what I was saying earlier, what you may be wondering is, okay, well, why would someone randomly come out with allegations against someone to just ruin their life? Like, what's the motivation? What could they have to gain? Well, a lot of people say clout, but I don't really think that holds a lot of weight, because I don't think the majority of people are looking for clout or anything like that. This more seems like a cop-out answer and the most obvious surface level thing you could say. But once you dig a little bit deeper in the story, you start to realize Lex Updog used to be good friends with Supermega, but she just fell out as friends. They used to be good with each other, but over time, throughout multiple other details I go in the main video, they just fell out like any normal friend would. If you've ever fell out with a friend, the main problems that end up ending these things is miscommunication and issues on both sides. But to act as if it's always a one-sided street is obviously dishonest, and no one's going to take you seriously for anyone who's actually had this experience before. There's always two sides of the story, each person fucked up, and it seems like Lex didn't let go of this though. When Supermega just moved on with their lives after falling out with them, where all of this happened like over a year ago, by the way, where they moved on but Lex never did, coming out with her story about them. So that was her motivation of falling out with them, so she's a scorned ex-friend, I guess. Then Leighton, he was an ex-employee who got fired due to his poor performance, so his motivations are obvious. Then Nickisnotgreen, he's best friends with Lex's boyfriend, Ethan is online, where they even have a band and do music together. So that's the case with him, and Ethan, he's literally the boyfriend of Lex. So there we go, everyone has their own personal issue with Supermega in this situation, so it's not like their motivations are out of thin air like a lot of people are making out to be. Like, why would someone just come out with allegations for no reason? Well, you have an ex-employee, an ex-friend, the boyfriend of the ex-friend, and also the best friend of the boyfriend in this situation. So it kind of gets, it makes sense. You can draw the lines with this. And then, of course, stacking on all the provable lies that everyone in the situation told, with even Nickisnotgreen, where he was supposed to be the neutral reporter on the situation. When he made his videos, he never even told Lex's story as if they were allegations. He just spread all of this information, calling Don a rapist with no evidence at all other than his friend's word, and then Supermega said that they covered up the sexual assault with no evidence at all. And funny enough, he claimed in the video that all he wanted to do is stick up for victims and give the weak a voice. But ironically, in your attempts to do this, you made a victim of Don and Supermega by falsely accusing them. So yeah, overall, it was a complete shit show all around. And as I mentioned earlier, Supermega may not even have a career as a result of this. Horrible situation, and that's why I felt pretty passionate about it. Made a good video that I'm really happy about how it turned out on the main channel. Check it out if you haven't already. But here's what we're here to talk about today, is the aftermath. Because a lot of things has happened and taken place after I dropped this video, including Lex even unlisting her video and disavowing completely Layton, and throwing him under the bus actually in attempts to save her own reputation. So let's get to that first. Oh yeah, and after I released my video, you know, unfortunately I got the Lex Updog block on Twitter. Very sad. I guess Lex didn't like the new video. But yeah, Lex unlisted her video after getting roughly around 500k views, 500,000, and in the description she made an edit saying this: if you are reading this, this is now unlisted because it no longer needs to be up as it has served its purpose, which was 1, getting my message to people that mattered to me after a long time of it not having been okay, and 2, the ability to talk about what had ultimately led me to being emotionally devastated for a very long time, affecting many important aspects of my life, hence part of the reason why I spoke about the aftermath of the assault so much. When I was assaulted before when I was 17, I wasn't believed by my close friends, so being believed by them is the most precious thing I could ask for. I felt so relieved being able to know that people now knew why I wasn't acting like myself. I'm so thankful to be believed by so many despite me going on too long about too many things. So there we go, we get the actual the first thing that isn't non-fluff and bullshit that matters. So she kind of disavows the way she executed the video, saying that she went on too long about unnecessary details and dragged on the video a little bit too much, which honestly, if that is her genuine message here, that's completely fair, and I at least applaud that. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket given the grand scheme of things, and this girl is still a disgusting bitch, but I mean, it just became like comical that her video, which was like 2 hours and 30 minutes long, about 15 to 30 minutes of it was talking about her sexual assault story, and then the rest 2 hours was just talking about her poor friendship with Supermega. It was absurd. My perspective was that if I talked about so many things, that no one could say something like Lex made this up, because too many things happened that I couldn't have even dreamt of making up, rather than just being really vague about what happened. And doing that made my sorry hard to understand for many, giving people who had no reason to be charitable a reason to outright disbelieve me. It also doesn't help that I had an individual around me who have made this worse for me by taking my trust in them for granted, by using it as a platform to say a lot of really not okay things while I was out seeing a movie. Now, this is directly talking about Layton. So apparently she didn't enjoy the fact that Layton went on live stream and she says he took advantage of her. Now, I'm calling bullshit. Okay, obviously the most charitable interpretation, which no one has any reason to be charitable to this girl at all, given she's a proven liar. But the most charitable interpretation is that everything she's saying is true, and that she never really talked to Layton about doing this live stream, and suddenly, the day after she dropped her video, he decided to go on live stream piggybacking off of her video to give all of his personal sob stories about Supermega as well. That's the most charitable you can be, but the truth probably lies in the middle of my bias account versus her bias account, where if we go in the middle here, I think what probably happened is that behind the scenes, Lex and Layton already talked about how they were concocting this whole idea to come out with allegations against Supermega and to tell their story, so to speak. Because if you remember, if you saw my original video, Lex, after she apparently got so hurt by Supermega, and that even Supermega covered up her sexual assault, even after that, a few months later, that all happened, she decided to rekindle with them and continue being friends. They made up. So they were chill for multiple months, where there was text proof that Matt from Supermega even dropped about this, with Lex texting him things like, hey, we should hang out soon and have a cookout even. So they were all good up until the exact date, until Layton was fired from Supermega, who she's friends with, and then immediately she cut contact right after that. So they definitely talk shit behind the scenes about them, and Layton probably did do a little bit of manipulation and probably convinced Lex that she was treated a lot worse by Supermega than what she actually was, using his own poor experience with Supermega as leverage. So from the jump, we know that they were chatting behind the scenes. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to assume that they both had plans to come out with their stories about them in a similar time frame. However, though, the reason I think Lex is now disavowing Layton is because he's an easy scapegoat. He's the easy guy to throw under the bus, because I don't think she had a problem with Layton coming out with his story in general, but I think she had a problem with the way he executed his stream, because Layton was so easily proven to be a liar, where Lex did do her fair share of lying as well, but it wasn't as easily proven wrong, and no one really wanted to take that optical L of trying to discredit a sexual assault victim, which we don't even know the evidence on that, but whatever. People just didn't want to take that L, but Lex still did her fair share of lying still, but Layton was just the more obvious one. So Layton began to discredit all of the allegations because of his own lives, and he started to muddy the water with this whole Supermega situation, which I don't think Lex liked, because this started to affect her. So now what I think she's doing is that she's easily trying to throw Layton under the bus to save her own reputation, because she knows he's indefensible completely. That's what I think this is. I mean, this girl has been shown to be a manipulative bitch who lies again and again about people, so I don't buy, there's no reason anyone should buy a thing she says at face value. She continues saying, though, I would have never talked if I knew something like that would happen, because it seriously has made me regret saying anything despite the relief I felt prior. Bullshit, dude. Come on. Oh yeah, I would have never came out if I knew this was gonna happen. Now she's trying to act like the innocent guy was like, man, I didn't want all of this to happen. You came out with assault allegations and that said Supermega tried to cover up your sexual assault. What do you mean you didn't know this would happen or this would blow up? Like, give me a break. I genuinely didn't expect this to get as big as it did, and so this is why I'm unlisting the video as well. I very rarely upload to this channel. Check the other uploads. As a time capsule place, I upload long messages like life updates to archive them. That's irrelevant, but she really didn't know how the YouTube algorithm works, and to know it would have blown up like it did. Being more familiar with the site now, I would have left it without comments and unlisted from the very beginning if I was more familiar with the website than I was before uploading this. I mean, okay. Hard to believe that you'd think coming out with an allegation this huge wouldn't just blow up to all hell over a million subscriber YouTube channel, as if that wouldn't be huge. I don't know what you were thinking there, but I guess. I linked this video to my smaller Twitter account, closer tied with Don versus all social media people, thinking people on Twitter were pretty much the main people who would have seen it, maybe even less. If you compare the views to other videos, you could see why I thought this. My intention was to get my message about Don immediately completed / believed, and talk about what happened after that. Unfortunately led me to see him again, which is what led to a lot of the interpersonal chaos that I learned wasn't even necessary explaining in detail or even at all to be believed. I've always seen online that many things can lead to people not believe victims, and I felt so scared about not being believed that I thought it was more believable to mention more things than less, and hadn't considered it would have muddied the water instead. If some things I've said in this edit wasn't a tell, I've been feeling very introspective lately, and this situation's aftermath has made it obvious I have a lot to learn about in general, but especially having better judgment for myself. And in that, I need to meet new people who won't take advantage of me, because I can be really gullible and think everyone has my best interest at heart, even in situations where I shouldn't. Lol. I mean, that's a direct sneak diss, not really sneak, but it's a direct implication to talking about Layton here. Again, basically saying the thing she was saying earlier, using him as a scapegoat to throw him under the bus, say, this was all Layton's fault that all of this happened, it was all his fault, ignore all of the lies that I've told, ignore all the dumb shit I said in my video, even bringing up on how Supermega didn't go to her birthday party one day. Ignore all that. It was all Layton. It's all his fault. Like, give me a break. This is so transparent. I hope everyone has a nice day. I'm having a great one, by the way. If you see this and got here, thank you so much for reading. You're welcome. But an interesting thing to see what happened is that after popular creator Destiny, Turkey Tom, and even my video did part of helping in this situation, which I'm very happy about, is that at least the Supermega subreddit seemed to change their opinion a lot more after all of our coverage was released, where you could see people linking my video. It has a decent amount of upvotes, where a lot of people still, it's pretty mixed on their subreddit and their fans on what they actually think, but I would say that 70% of the people are now more on the fence. Of course, there's dumbasses here and there, but overall, I think all of us did a really good job in at least swaying at least a little part of the public opinion. You you know what I mean? But an interesting thing to see also is that Nickisnotgreen, who was the main perpetrator, where he even had the most popular videos on this whole situation, pushing the story, and he's responded to all of this criticism he's been getting in such a smug, douchey way that it's so unlikable. It's infuriating to see. He put out this Instagram story responding to some person saying, "Have you seen what's going on in your Reddit? Why are people so mad?" And he responds saying, "A certain Debate Bros fan base," which he's talking about Destiny, "has their aims on me for a few weeks. They will move on to their next target in a month. The same people who tried to get people banned for saying cracker." Another just, I'm overloading on the soy takes. Holy shit, dude. Genuinely the most mindless zombies you'll find on the internet. Nickisnotgreen, your whole career hinges on mindless retards believing any accusation that you say, whether you present evidence or not. That is your whole audience. That was your whole even video against Supermega. You literally said verbatim that you're not going to look into this situation as if it's a normal case where you're supposed to find the facts, and that you're just going to listen to one person's testimony and take it as fact and victimize someone else, accusing them of being a rapist and also covering up a sexual assault. That is the definition of mindless zombies for anyone who listens to you, and you even are a mindless zombie as well for pushing that narrative. This guy's unbelievable, and you know, the only thing we can hope for one day is that some girl comes out with an accusation against him and he won't be able to do anything about it, and all of his audience will eat him alive because he can't do anything. He has to believe all accusations from any woman on planet Earth. So I pray for the day. I sincerely hope he gets accused. And as you can see in this subreddit too, he's banning all conversations about Supermega at all. So he's completely just eliminating any criticism or anyone having a different opinion, which is the definition of running an echo chamber full of mindless zombies. So, I mean, the jokes write themselves. But yeah, that's the main updates on the Supermega situation. As you can see, I'm on a new channel. I'm doing daily commentary stuff here. So if you want to see daily stuff, I'm also going to be live streaming on this channel soon as we get some more people into this channel. But I really feel big things are coming. You know, I'm going to have my weekly bigger videos on the main channel, then daily stuff here, as well as live streams. Big things are coming. I'm looking forward to the future. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.